start it. So whenever you're ready, we can cut this part out.
Hey, I'm Eric Smith,
Hey, I'm Zach Cushionberry.
and we're here to talk about our project for Group TGI Friday. Our project is a phone application that guides the blind, visually impaired, or others with disabilities that could take advantage of the software to get around campus using the quickest routes possible. It ties in with the bus service, Google Maps, and an audio guide to implement this service. The app combines databases like the one seen here, locations, coordinates, audio file databases, used for reading screen plus directions given. Look at application. Wait.
Oh, it's just like it uses those two things, and then when you look into the app page, we have a bunch of different options. Like it uses JavaScript right here. Let's see if I can get a good picture of that. And some more JavaScript, and it's like these two things work together, and they implement the coordinates from the locations database and some of the MP3 files. And if we go with that, we can go ahead and test our app. You see here, there's a bunch of different pages. You can open them up and look at them. This is what it looks like when you're actually in the app looking at it from a phone. It looks a bit odd because it's in a web browser. It's not actually the phone running it. But there's a bunch of different options you can do with it. If you go to your home screen, you have two of the main options. These appear on every single tab. See, it's designed for blind and visually impaired, so what's the most important thing we wanted to do is make it so it's easily accessible through the buttons, and that that they could understand what's going on the page, like regardless of how we could see it.
In the top
every
left
single
corner,
tab
the app settings can be accessed. In the top
has a speak feature that reads off the screen. It's at the top left corner is the settings, top right's the speak feature, which you just pressed, and two buttons, the top and bottom. If we look at the settings tab, this is the one of the most important tabs. It contains a bunch of JavaScript that can be accessed by the rest of the file up here. And that information is what makes the project special, because you can go in and edit that with someone who wants to, for instance, use the app. They can edit that and change how their daily schedule will look, which I'll show you in a minute. So these first main two options are the class-to-class navigation and the audio access. So this one's cool. It lets you push this button and do audio input, and it already has a fully equipped Google Maps. You can do stuff like drop a guy on the map, zoom in and out, but it's not very useful because it's for the blind, and it's just as good as if you were to use Siri or something similar. So that's not the main purpose. It's just something that we're working on. Maybe can improve, like if we made it so audio access could guide you to bus stops or something like that, be a bit more efficient and be more useful than Google Maps for someone who's visually impaired. The main thing to look at is this, the top option, which is the daily schedule. You'll notice this top left button becomes home, and at any point past this, it just takes you back to the home screen. You can go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday schedule. And I know sometimes they'll be different, but we generalized it for this case, where all Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedules are the same. And basically what you do is you would go over your schedule with somebody who knows how to work the app, and they provide you with these three features. It changes, see, it looks like it's not changing much, but when you hit the next location button, it actually takes you to the next page. And what happens is, as you're going through your Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, it takes you from home to all your classes in the most efficient way possible. Assuming you can't see well, it provides this feature where it'll read off the
this
page
page and
to you.
the pages that follow will all have the same set of options.
It says it will all have the same set of options, so you're not worried about getting like lost in this set list. You can always go home in the top left, or just know these three buttons are present. Now, what's cool is that this has a link to mapping. When you click that link, it has automatic coordinates entered in. So in that first page, I had Russell Hall set as my home, and we're assuming I'm going to my first class of the day, which I think is set to Driftmeyer. It knows to take me from Russell Hall to this stop over here at Finley Street, and it's walking me there because, I mean, obviously it's a short walk, but not only that, because if you're visually impaired, you can't be driving anywhere. It walks you there, And say you get to the stop, you don't really know what to do. Well, if you go back to the app, the travel instructions
First,
tab.
you will need to follow the Google Maps pathing until you have reached the Cresswell Hall bus stop. From here, you can wait for either a north-south bus line or an east-west bus line, since either of those will.
Just like that. It reads off not only what you should do, which is follow the mapping specifically, but it also tells you which buses to take. And if I let it continue any further, it would tell you which bus stops to get off, to be closest to. It does this for every tab. So we just took the bus stop all the way to, I think it's, well, I guess we'll see in a minute. If you do link to mapping, yep, takes me to this stop right here, which I don't remember what it is. It's Myers Quad, that stop. Takes you to there.
You are already at the closest stop to you for this trip. Simply follow Google Maps until it gets you to Hardman Hall. You are in room 102, which is the first room on the right from the front entrance.
Yep, just like that. It reads off exactly what to do. And from Hardman Hall, if we'd be going up to my next class after this would be in the MLC. Fastest way from there is it would take you right back from Hardman Hall to go to the next location. After your class, I assume, is when you go to next location. You see it reads off your screen up here, which it's not necessary. You can use the speak feature to tell you as well, but it's useful to know where you're at in your schedule. And if you click the link to mapping, it does the same thing, but it takes you back, and it would continue on with your day. And it goes on and on. Next location, next location. Say you wanted to get lunch or something, you can implement that in your schedule with someone who's programming the class. We'll do a link from that class I was just in, up in the MLC, whoops. And that would take me down to right here, Bolton Dining Commons. And then from Bolton, goes next location, and it's the last location of the day. Takes you right from Bolton back home, walks you there. And the same thing.
Simply walking from Bolton back to Cresswell Hall would be the fastest route to get back home.
Same thing, travel instructions, speak always works.
This page and the pages that follow will all have the same.
They all have the same, this reads off the buttons to you if you go on. And the last button now takes you back home, and you can go right back over with your class schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday is the same thing, but it maps you for your Tuesday, Thursday classes, which for me, my first class was 1 p.m. So I went ahead and got breakfast first, and then had the buses map me from there. Now, the app looks fine on the website. To actually get the real full application software, you need to get like business fees and get some. Here we go, and get I'm losing the word here. Copywriting and stuff like that. And that's just kind of a mess. So you can actually access the app on your phone still. It's simple. All you got to do is get a camera. Let's see if I can get this on here. There's a QR code. Let's try not to get the QR code on the video. And it opens it up. That's a little index ahead for a bunch of audio files. And it works just the same, class-to-class navigation. It's a little off because it's on a web browser, but it's all the same. Zoom in a little bit. Here's the map, all the features on it. And yeah, this is our project. It came together pretty well. We have pretty good mapping. It can always be improved, but considering circumstances, all you have to do is go to the settings tab and change some stuff around. And if I met with someone who had a different schedule, it'd probably only take an hour of me editing some of these settings and inputting new audio files, which is all part of the process. And you could change your Monday, Wednesday, Friday class line to be entirely different classes. Same way through the database, those files in the settings enter new locations in the database so that you can proceed with your class schedule as going. So the whole point of the project is that my class schedule is an example, but you take your class schedule and it's really, the whole app's a general formula where you enter in your settings for whatever your class schedule may be, and then it guides you specifically to however your class schedule is. So it's really like a template. It's supposed to be a well-built template to just help anyone that could use the app navigate through campus. That's what we were hoping to achieve. And in the future, if we work on it more, we had some ideas like headsets, like better audio recognition and audio recognition that takes you to bus stops and crosswalks and stuff like that. And maybe even cameras, visual recognition, stuff like that. So, we think there's a lot of potential here, and we think we did a good job with this project. Anything to say?
That's it.
Good? All right.